Hi everybody, Dave Albury here with Plexus Worldwide, and I am coming to you today because I want to share with you some information about one of my favorite supplements that we carry, and it's called MegaX. This little guy right here, and the best way to describe MegaX is that it is a plant-based full-spectrum omega. Now I'm going to tell you a lot more about the plant-based portion in just a second, but when we say full spectrum, what we mean is that it has all of your omegas in it. Omegas 3, 6, 9, 5, and 7. And I'm going to fill you in on the benefits of each of those omegas in just a little bit. But before I go any further, I do want to mention that I am not making any claims on behalf of Plexus, nor does Plexus make any claims about healing or curing any diseases. So the information I'm going to share with you today is science-based in terms of what is in MegaX and also some additional research that I've done on these various omegas and also the sources that they come from. You know, I started with Plexus a little over 2 years ago, and when I started with our triplex system, which is all about gut health. Well, I was on a statin, and I had been on a statin for a few years at that point because I had high cholesterol, and I'd gone to my annual checkup with my doctor, and he wasn't happy with the results that we were getting with the statin, and he told me, you know, I want you to start using an omega-3 along with it. Well, I called my daughter that afternoon because she was my Plexus sponsor, and I was telling her, you know, what was going on, and she said, Dad, we have our own omega product. Go in your back office, it's called MegaX, add it to your subscription, you're good to go. And I did, and that was a little over 2 years ago, and I have been using it ever since. I've been able to get off of my prescription that I was on, and this little supplement has done some amazing things for me. I started building a business with Plexus a little over a year ago, and one of the things that I was doing when I would tell people about MegaX, I kind of had 3 or 4 bullet points that I was always using. You know, that it's plant-based, no fishy burp, it has, you know, all the omegas, it's full spectrum, from the oil of the ahi flower. You know, all those things are true, but as I've learned more about MegaX, that's just kind of scratching the surface. And that's why I wanted to do this and share some information with you all about it and tell you what I've learned. Now the omegas, like I said, there's omega 3, 6, 9, 5, and 7, and I'm going to give you a little more detail about each of those in just a second. In terms of the sources, so they're all plant-based. Yes, the oil of the ahi flower is definitely one of the sources, but the rest of those sources are the oil from avocado oil, broccoli seed oil, pomegranate seed oil, raspberry seed oil, and one you've probably never heard of, sea buckthorn berry oil. You're probably not going to find sea buckthorn berry at your garden center because it comes from the Northwest Himalayas. But that's one of the things I love about Plexus is they are so diligent about bringing new sources and new ingredients to the table, and I'm always hearing about something that I've never heard of before, and I love learning about that. So before I go any further, I just wanted to share some information with you for those of you that aren't familiar with omegas, because I wasn't really that familiar with them when I started this. So what are omegas? They're unsaturated fats, a dietary fat that when used properly, they contribute to, you know, our overall health and proper body function when they're used in a balanced way. So that's one of the things I do love about MegaX, is that it's full spectrum, so you have all the omegas in there and you get a nice balance, which is great, which is what we want. Now I'm going to have some, there'll be some references to free radicals and antioxidants, and all those things are linked to what we call oxidative stress. So at the end of this, I'm going to share some information on that. But first, we're going to dig into each of the omegas and their sources. I do want to say that outside of some regular Plexus information that we get, I am not, this information isn't strictly based on the information that we have in our product info guides from Plexus. I have a number of sources that I've gathered information from on the omegas and their sources, and I probably used about 3 of those for the majority of this information. One of them is from a doctor that I follow quite regularly and trust his opinions. There's also the Healthline and the Journal of Natural Science. So those are the three main sources for the information that I gathered this information from. So the omegas, omega-3. Now here are some of the benefits of each of these omegas. And there's a lot of information here. So your omega-3, great for anxiety and depression, for eye health, skin health, bone and joint health. Great for avoiding the risk or for avoiding heart disease, ADHD symptoms in children, inflammation in the body, and for also for autoimmune diseases like type 1 diabetes and MS. It's also great for helping with age-related mental decline. So when you think of Alzheimer's, and one of the things that it does help with is that myelin sheath, which is the coating around our nerves. So it helps with promoting that and making sure that that's kept healthy and strong. Your omega-6, that helps to reduce the risk of heart disease. It helps lower LDL cholesterol, which is the bad one, raising HDL cholesterol, which is the good one, and also with helping to reduce the risk of cancer. Omega-9, another one that also helps with increasing LDL and lowering HDL, but also eliminating plaque buildup in the arteries, which is an amazing benefit. It helps to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and strokes, also enhancing mood, decreasing anger, and helping with inflammation in the body and also boosting the immune system. Omega-5. This one helps with healthy cholesterol levels, improving glucose tolerance. It's an antioxidant. It also helps fight free radicals, and it helps with cell regeneration in the skin. Your omega-7, this one improves symptoms of insulin resistance. It helps to improve pancreatic production of insulin, and also with skin health and hair growth. So there's a lot of information there on each of those omegas, and I'm telling you, there's probably more, but I didn't want to sit here for an hour and boring you with a bunch of information, but those are some of the great benefits of each of these omegas. So in terms of the sources, I'm going to go through each of those as well and tell you what some of the benefits of these sources are, these plant-based sources. The oil of the ahi flower. This helps with bipolar depression, breast cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, and metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is basically a cluster of conditions that leads to things like type 1 diabetes or cardiovascular disease. And some of the typical symptoms are high blood pressure, constantly elevated cholesterol, and also maybe excess fat in the midsection. Now, I do want to say that taking MegaX, like I said in the beginning, this isn't something that's going to cure all these things. This is about prevention and using something on a regular basis and consistently to help prevent and fight some of these things. The next one is the broccoli seed oil. This is a great one. It has anti-aging effects. It's a source of antioxidants. Also fatty acids and vitamin C. It also has vitamin A, K, and your B vitamins. It helps prevent UV damage, and it's a natural alternative to retinol. It also helps with detoxing or helping the liver to detox. So when I started with our triplex system 2 years ago, typically when someone starts with the triplex system, one of the main things that we're going for is a cleanse, and you will experience some detox because we're killing off bad bacteria and removing them from the body, and your body does go through a period of adjustment. Well, sometimes people, they experience different symptoms. Well, because I started with MegaX right off the bat, I always tell people, I don't remember experiencing any real serious detox symptoms. And I firmly believe after doing some of the research and especially here noting with the broccoli seed oil that it helps support your liver in the detox process, that this is something that probably helped me along the way. The next one is raspberry seed oil. Now, this one is also a potent antioxidant, and it helps with moisturizing the skin and elasticity. It's also a good protector for your body with UVB and UVA rays. It's got vitamin E, which is another antioxidant, reduces skin damage, mops up free radicals. The UV protection from the raspberry seed oil is also comparable to titanium dioxide, which is something that you find in just about every suntan lotion or anything that has SPF protection. So it also has the omegas 3, 6, and 9 in it, and it's a great anti-inflammatory. Avocado oil. So avocado oil also helps to lower cholesterol and blood pressure. It treats skin damage, fights wrinkles, and it helps your hair to be healthy. It stimulates weight loss, and it also boosts nutrient absorption. Pomegranate seed oil. This one is high in omega-5, and it has anti-inflammatory properties and anti-aging properties, and it helps to fend off free radicals. The sea buckthorn berry oil. I think this one is my favorite. And there's a lot going on here with this one. So I was really excited when I found this information. It is rich in all kinds of nutrients and antioxidants. It's a flavonoid that helps lower blood pressure and also risk of heart disease. It has folate, biotin, B1, B2, B6, vitamin C and E, and all of your omegas. A lot going on here. It helps promote a healthy heart function. Now, it also says it may help with protecting against diabetes, may boost immune system. It might also help support healthy liver function and fighting cancer cells. It does help protect the skin with UV rays. It helps aid digestion, helps with dry eyes, and also with inflammation. Now, there were a couple of the sources here that were noted as helping in terms of protecting the body with UVB and UVA rays. And I did want to also mention, I saw a video recently with one of my Plexus peers, Wendy Larson, and she mentioned, she goes on our annual trip to Hawaii. She's a diamond with the company. And she probably takes about 2 to 3 MegaX a day. But when she's getting ready to go on that trip to Hawaii every year, she and her family bulk up on MegaX and take 6 or more a day and don't have to use suntan lotion while they're at the beach and don't get sunburned. So that's a pretty cool thing to know about this. So I did mention that there were several of these that helped in terms of fighting free radicals, and they also were a source of antioxidants for the body. So this is linked to something that's called oxidative stress. And basically what's happening with oxidative stress is that there's an imbalance in the body in terms of free radicals, which are the bad guys, and your antioxidants, which are the good guys. And what's happening is they carry oxygen that have an uneven, they have molecules that have an uneven number of electrons. So what they're doing is they're roaming about the body unchecked, and they do damage, and they can actually cause cancer in the body. And this process, that's what oxidative stress is. And so what's causing this are things like obesity, poor nutrition or diet, drinking too much alcohol, medicines and chemicals, pesticides, radiation. We all have cell phones, so that's a source of radiation. And so these things, when they are prolonged in the body, this oxidative stress, it can really cause some serious issues in our bodies. And things like anxiety, depression, cholesterol. So that's why I mentioned earlier, in terms of prevention, just taking MegaX is not going to cure things. It's going to start a process in your body of pushing back, fighting these free radicals, helping to kind of turn the clock back on some of the damage that's been done. So there's no better time to start taking MegaX than now. I started taking this little guy almost 2.5 years ago, and it was one of the best things I did. And I know that you're going to be thrilled with this. We all can use a great source for omegas, and this one has all of them in it. Not just omega-3, but omega-3, 6, 9, 5, and 7. You get a great balance, which is what we're going for. And I know that you won't be sorry using MegaX. Thanks, guys, and I hope this information has been helpful to you.